Welcome to another episode of Conversation with a Chef. I'm Jo Ritty and I love sharing with you the conversations I get to have with talented and passionate chefs. It's the backstory, if you will, to the food they're putting up. I begin today by acknowledging the Ngaitahu people of Te Waipounamu in Aotearoa, New Zealand, who are the traditional custodians of the land where this conversation took place. Now, this chat is with Morgan Williams in Christchurch. My friend Morgan is an absolute star. He does a lot. So much. He's an absolute ideas man, an entrepreneur. And if you follow him on the socials, which you absolutely should, it's just one great idea after the next. Morgan was the co-producer for many years on the wildly successful New Zealand children's program What Now? And he also had a principal role in what I think is one of the best zombie movies to come out of Christchurch, Last of the Living. He's currently studying nursing, as well as pushing a men's underwear range, hosting drive-in movies with a huge inflatable screen, distilling gin, and making kimchi. I'm sure there's other things. When I lived in Christchurch in the pre-Conversation with a Chef days, I used to have a show on a local radio station called Volcano FM. I interviewed people who were passionate about what they did. I loved it. There's something so thrilling about talking to people who love what they do and know all about it. So really, I've been angling to talk to Morgan for ages, and now that he's branched into food, I had my chance. I loved our chat, and I do apologise for the at times uproarious laughter, but I'm kind of hoping you might join in. Hi Morgan, thanks for coming over today to chat about kimchi.
Yes.
So what's it called? What's your company called?
It's called Chikim's Kimchi.
That's right.
It's just basically kimchi, just cut in half and then those two syllables are put around the other way.
Yeah. So I wanted to talk to you because I've known you for, how long do you reckon? Maybe about 11 years?
Easy, yeah. Definitely since the earthquake,
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah. And over the time that I've known you, I'm always amazed at how many incredible ideas you come up with. You're so entrepreneurial. And it worries me sometimes that you maybe don't sleep. Do you sleep?
I sleep fine. Yeah, it's all smoke and mirrors. I get a lot of downtime. It just looks like I'm busier.
Because last night you were doing Ivan's Drive-In, which is a massive inflatable screen for drive-in movies.
Yep.
Burwood Forest?
Yeah, it was at Bottle Lake Forest Park.
Lake.
Just a bit of sort of space by the Rangers compound there.
Yeah.
It went really well. We've got some good weather and it takes ages to get dark. It's funny because drive-in movies, where I'm trying to do it, it's like in the summer it's warm, which is great, but it gets late. It gets dark so late, so it wasn't dark enough until at least 9:30, and people are this is late showing. Winter, it's freezing, but it gets dark early, so it's like, well, it's probably going to be a spring autumn thing. I reckon.
Do you reckon? Yeah.
Yeah, probably.
How many people did you get last night?
We had about 12 or 13 cars, but it was like a trial, so it wasn't. This wasn't a big thing. It was just like, I just literally needed 3 or 4. I would have been happy just to test out a new piece of equipment to make sure the audio was sounding good for, all different types of cars and whatnot. So, but it worked really well. And
that's the thing, because I watch you on social media with all your gadgets and different things. And I think everything that you enter into, you do it super well. Like you really... Don't you? You must research everything to get exactly the right thing. Yeah,
definitely. Some things more than others, and then it's a bit of learn as you go. For example, with Ivan's, the previous trial run had all the components, but the one thing that let me down was the FM transmitter, and so that was just something cheap that I bought on AliExpress, hoping that it would work. Turns out it was rubbish, and that's why the sound wasn't very good. So then I had to go see an extremely clever friend of mine who's into all techie stuff, and he helped me find this person who made these things from scratch for the frequency I was looking for in New Zealand. So that's what I was testing out mainly last night. And so that I sort of arrived at that. I was just trying not to spend too much money because it's these things don't make any money for quite some time, so you just have to figure it out when get that income yourself.
Yeah, so that's the thing, isn't it? Because I feel like, too, some of the things you've done, I feel like they're really community-centred as well. So your quickie events, where that's not really a money-maker, is it? That's about bringing people together? Or?
Pretty much, yeah. I mean, that was like one of the first ventures, I suppose. That was sort of entry-level. I mean, I always sort of try and spot a niche, and I just kind of felt like... you can do fun runs and all that sort of stuff, and then you've got road cycling and mountain biking and all that kind of activities, and then you've got triathlons, in which there are many, but duathlon was never a thing that I saw a lot, but I saw that as an entry-level kind of event for people who are maybe thinking of doing something like multi-sport or a triathlon, short distances, and just to experience that transition from going from run to bike to run, because it can get quite jarring. I know from my experience after a mountain bike run. I think it was a duathlon. Your spine feels like it's turning into jelly if it's a bumpy ride and then you have to run. So just experiencing that kind of thing. But what happened is I found a lot of couples really got into it. So it was actually quite a nice thing, and families were doing it. As you're saying, like it became more of a community thing.
Yeah. And then the noodle.
Yes, go ahead.
Men's underwear, I'm not sure. Well, some of those photos were quite community-centred. The community service for the women to look at men's packages.
That's right. Yeah. Hey, I think equal rights, man. I see so many half-naked women online, so let's get some half-naked men there too, right?
But also really, like, that was about having art on undies.
Yeah. Originally that was about, again, I thought there would be a niche market for that, but the whole idea behind Noodle was to market it to women to buy for, or either get pink dollar or market it to women to buy for their male partners if they're in hetero. So it would be like almost like a point of sale item. Yeah. So I sold it at sort of high-end giftware stores or even high-end-ish kind of female clothing stores, so that a lady would buy something really expensive and go, I should get something for Mark to sweeten the deal because this dress is $1,000. So I'm generalising here, but
cunning. But you know how women's minds work. That's handy.
And they talk so much. I was researching. Like this is years ago, but just how many? I think 12,000 extra words a day is what I saw on some sort of TED talk that women speak more each day than men.
Yes.
And I'm like, well, if you can get them talking about, even for a little chunk of that about Noodle or my brand of whatever, then I think that's a pretty good marketing tool.
Yeah. So you've done all of these things. What made you branch into the food industry with kimchi?
Into kimchi, yeah. That is such a good question, and I wish I knew. Because kimchi is already being made, so it's not like, there's a market. And I've never had anything to do with food production, so I'm like, what am I even doing sometimes? When did I even think about it? I think I just tried making some because I saw a really cute little lady on YouTube making kimchi, and she just had such a nice way about her. I was like, that looks like a fun thing to make. And so I made it, and then I thought, this is actually bloody tasty. And I guess I just wanted to see if people would buy it. And then I sold a batch on Facebook Marketplace, and it sold out within like a couple of days. I'm like, jeepers, this is pretty good. And I got great response from it. But as far as like my desire to make kimchi, it was nothing that I'd set out to do. It's just I wanted to try it and see if people bought it, and then I thought, carry on.
And so obviously it's fermented. I mean, does it always have to be made with cabbage? Is that what kimchi is? Or?
Kimchi is like, it can be made with anything. Traditionally, it's made with it's called either Napa cabbage or Chinese cabbage or Wong Bok. And that is just something that has been used for a long time. But I've seen people like kimchi, cucumber, and I actually want to do a batch with bok choy as well, just because it's so much more readily available than Chinese cabbage, because I'm sort of like always scouting for Chinese cabbage, and I see it and I get all excited and snap it up when I can. But you always see sort of like bok choy around, and I reckon it's a similar kind of, that sort of white part of it, similar kind of crunchy texture.
Yeah.
But you can kimchi anything really, like kimchi as in the verb of fermenting. I'm using it in that context. I'm sorry, I'm not doing much. I'm doing a disservice to the Korean culture, but I can't remember if kimchi is actually a word used to describe fermenting, rather than what we think kimchi is, as in like a
product.
A product, yeah.
Yeah, right. So, and then how did you work out your recipe? Did you found a recipe you liked, or did you tweak it?
Yeah, I tweaked it a little bit, not much though, just because the first time I made it, it was so good. And then I guess I've just sort of increased volumes and then changed out a couple of little extra bits and bobs, but nothing crazy. Like I'm not very creative with food, so it's not like I went, oh, I'm going to try this and add this. I just went, oh yeah, that was good. Oh, I don't have any of that. I'll try this instead, and then carry on. Yeah.
And how long does it take, from start to finish? Because what's the fermenting process?
Well, you can ferment it for as long as you want. It sort of has like maybe 2 or 3 days of like when it's going gangbusters fermenting after you've sort of mixed it all together, and then it sort of peters off. But it's sort of, for me, with my stuff, I've got to get it, because I want to sell it, right? So I come under something called the New Zealand National Program 2, which is kind of like set by the Ministry of Primary Industries, MPI, is that right? Ministry of Primary? Yeah, sure. And so and then it's got your food safety, your food regulation. So I have to get my pH level between 3.6 and 3.2, which is, I'm going to have to work on that. I want to get there a bit faster, because sometimes it's taking a good couple of weeks to get there. And so anyway, the reason for the pH level being precise is that it kills all the germies, and gives it a prolonged sort of shelf life. So that's where I'm actually at the moment. So the last batch that I did about a month ago, I've set my best before date at 3 months. So now I literally have to wait 3 months and then get it tested at a laboratory for, E. coli and something called APC.
Okay.
So it's quite frustrating, because I want to get it moving, but I actually have to wait 3 months, and then once I've got that, then I get all signed off and I'm away.
Yeah.
I don't know if that answered your question or not, but
no, it did. Yeah.
So I'm still learning the best packaging and whatnot, because generally what I'd do, traditionally you'd brine your whole cabbage head, and then they would smear the leaves with the kind of mixture of chili flakes and all the garlic and chili, garlic and ginger and stuff, and then you sort of roll it up and shove it in a container to ferment. The first batch I did, people were like, "Oh, they're a bit big for a mouthful," and I was like, "What? Just cut them up. It's not that hard." But anyway, I took that on board and found it actually does speed things up a little bit. Rather than doing each leaf individually and rolling it up, what I do now is just chop up the cabbage into sort of pretty big chunks. Then I chuck it in with all the mixture, and I just mix it all up and then put it in the jars, and that seems to work all right. But when they ferment in the jars, you get quite a lot of like if it's a warm day and they haven't been in the fridge for a while, it's like having a shaken up soda can.
Yeah.
And I don't want people getting, because it's pretty smelly
yeah,
stuff.
Yeah,
right?
That's right.
And you don't want that. So I'm sort of experimenting between jar fermenting and barrel fermenting.
Yeah.
Barrel fermenting, the last batch I did, I left it in there too long, and the cabbage sort of lost its integrity. It got a bit slushy, but sort of soft. And you still want it to be a bit crunchy when you're biting into it. So I needed to have done that for a few days and then got it into the jars, but I left it for like 2 weeks, and now it's just... But that's the stuff I blitzed up and made into pizza sauce. It's so good.
Yeah.
It was a really good mistake. Yeah.
And that pizza oven do you have that?
That's my brother-in-laws and sisters. Yeah, that's
nice.
It's really cool. It's
So and that worked well as a pizza sauce?
It was amazing as a pizza sauce. Yeah, and it looks
wow.
like it's tomatoey. There's no tomato in it. It's just all the chili and all the good stuff. But it's a bit of an art getting the old pizza out. And
does it need to ferment in a particular temperature, or does it not matter?
I just leave mine at room temperature.
Yeah.
Room air.
And do you need lots of space if you're... Eventually, is this going to be like a big
I will
production?
do. Yeah. I mean, like I make it at a sort of one of those, what would you say, shared sort of kitchen spaces called Tuck in Christchurch. And so there's lots of, commercial grade kitchens that you can hire out for hour. Actually, you can do them by the hour.
Yeah.
But a mate of mine who runs a company called Little Bone Broth Company, this really awesome guy. He's so welcoming and friendly. He lets me just take a space up at the end of his kitchen, and I can just get that done, bang them out in a day kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So do you reckon, so it's obviously for you it's worth persevering through the hurdles and whatnot?
I want it, because I haven't taken it, I want to take it to the farmers market and do a stall there. Because I want to do 100 jars a week. It doesn't sound like a big goal, but I just want to do 100 jars a week over a season, for example, like a summer season. So it might not be until like next year for all I know. But although it's a year-round market, though, I think, isn't it, the old Rickon Farmers Market?
Yeah, so good. I was there yesterday.
Yes, you were. I saw your photo.
So great.
It's pretty cool.
And everything smelled so delicious. And and I ran into my friend Ali, who I also talked to because she does some amazing things as well.
Cool.
That's such a great atmosphere down there. And so, and what are the health benefits of eating kimchi?
Well, because it's a fermented product, it's good on your gut. I need to study up more about all that kind of carry on to answer your question properly. But, it's a well-known fact that with fermented foods, it's good on your stomach and your gut health with probiotics and prebiotics and all that sort of carry on. And it tastes great.
And I see you've got a few, apart from the pizza sauce, you've got a few interesting ways you're using it. What do you like to do with kimchi?
It's an interesting question because a lot of people who don't, like Westerners, I guess, like kimchi, how do you even use it? So the way that I like to use it, one of my favourite meals at the moment, and it's nothing groundbreaking, but basically just doing some rice, I just use white rice, and then I'll get asparagus and broccoli, and then just either saute that, or I don't generally steam it or whatever, and then I plonk that on the top, and then there's this tonkatsu sauce that's like it's got a little bulldog on the front of it, and it's sort of fruit vegetable sauce. It's quite yummy. Anyway, so I drizzle that on top, and then I get a steak, and then cut that into slivers and chuck that on top, and then I just dump a whole bunch of kimchi on top. It's so good. It's really, really yummy. But you can put it in stir fries. You can just eat it straight. Some of it, I'm not very good with spicy food. It is quite spicy. Maybe not for people who are like, hardcore spice veterans, but...
And where does the spice come from? Chili?
Yeah, this stuff called gochugaru, which is Korean chili flakes. And I was surprised when I was first making it, and the recipe's like, 10 cups of this stuff, and you're like just scooping it, it's mounting up, but it all gets mixed in nicely and absorbed and all, but they're really good, and just the smell of them is amazing. They're so good.
So we have to wait till next year to see your little fancy jars at the market?
I'll do it before then, but I'm just thinking if I want to keep experimenting, but I think the product as it is at the moment, I want to make sure it's all safe to consume. Well, it is safe to consume, but you just have to get that lab testing done so that you can put your best by or best before date safely on it. But I got audited by a food verifier, and that got the ticks in the right places, which
awesome.
is good. It's just this one last shelf life testing that I need to get done.
That's well done. I think that's so good.
Thank you.
And I reckon nowadays that it's increasingly becoming that people are specialising in food products. So they're just really good at one thing. So, in Melbourne, we've got this tarts and on. They just make tarts and they're excellent. Or they just make croissant and they're excellent. And I just think, why wouldn't you? Although it's conversation with a chef, you're not actually a chef. But you are, you've created this food product that you're passionate about. And I think that's really great. Yeah,
it is. It's a really cool process. And I love, chopping all the veggies, mixing it all up, and no batch is exactly the same, so just trying to get the sort of common denominator correct, I guess. And then you see it in the jars, and I like the wee stickers. And
Did you come up with that logo?
I used templates. I use templates for everything, Joe. I don't make anything anymore. So, but I like it. I like the way it looks. I just like holding those jars. It's got a nice weight to it, and then of course the product itself is delicious, and people love it. Like they really, really like it. So.
And that's also, that sort of, just come back full circle, is that idea of community. And you're such a people person that you're not just putting it on shelves in a shop. You want to sell it to people at a market and have that contact and talk about your product. I think that's cool. Yeah,
absolutely. I look forward to actually being, face on face with people and just sort of, and doing, the little testy bowls. There won't be any testing in the bowl. Tester bowls of kimchi, just seeing what they think, and hopefully see them happy.
Nice. Well, I look forward to next time maybe I'm back in Christchurch. I'll go wandering down to Riccarton Bush, and
you'll see me there.
I'll see you there.
Yeah.
Thanks, Morgan.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for listening to this episode of Conversation with a Chef with Morgan Williams from Chikim's Kimchi in Christchurch. To check out some really great ideas for what to do with kimchi, have a look at his Instagram at ChimsKimchi, Chikim's Kimchi. And if you liked what you heard, I'm on Instagram as well at Conversation with a Chef. You can read the chat at www.conversationwithachef.com. And I would absolutely love it if you told a friend about my chats. And of course, you can follow me on Apple and Spotify podcasts. Once again, thanks for listening and have a great day.